Hey guys, this video is brought to you by my favorite web hosting company, Linode. I've actually used this company for 8 years now. I've had a noobmovies.com website that had 250,000 views a month on a Python Django platform that was running on Linode, and it cost me less than $20 a month. In fact, even with that, I only used about 10% of my available resources. So Linode gives you like the full flexibility for anything that runs on Linux will run on Linode. So if you guys are trying to set up a game server, trying to get in some Bitcoin, some scraping, automation, whatever it is, check out Linode. There's a $20 discount in the link below. Hey guys, what's up? So in this video, we're going to be looking at how to automate the job search process. So if you guys have been in this market for a little while, you're looking for a job, one of the most frustrating things, I think, is like trying to figure out where do you go to actually find the job. So for instance, the most popular job search website is Indeed.com. And when we look at Indeed, like it's a pretty terrible site in the sense that there are so many duplicate jobs. There's so many recruiters that are putting out the same job. So you could see literally the same job 15, 20, 30 different times, it seems like, because all these different these recruiters that are just flocking to that site. So it's really annoying. Now another option is LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is also quite frustrating because I'm on LinkedIn and I pretty much only get spam on there. I get spam from some of the worst recruiters. I do get people reaching out to me sometimes, so I apologize when you reach out to me on LinkedIn. I typically am late to respond because I do get so much like spam on that platform. But it is beneficial in the sense that you can, with a lot of different companies, you can just simply apply using your LinkedIn profile. So it's kind of like this default thing where it's like you feel like you have to have it, kind of like a Facebook account, even if you don't use it. So the point of this video, though, is that we're going to be automating the process of job searches because that process sucks. So this tool right here is written in Python. It's some of the latest versions of Python. So you have to have Python installed, and you also have to have version 3.6 or higher. And we're going to try this out on a Windows platform. So this actually was not installed or created on a Windows platform. It was created using Linux, I believe, maybe Mac. But either way, it definitely was not created on Windows. So we're going to be trying this out. But what this does is it automates all the searching for the different jobs, looking at different websites like Indeed and Stack Overflow jobs and LinkedIn and a few others. So the good news is, though, is you don't see the same job over and over again. And you can also tweak all kinds of different settings, and it creates a CSV file so that you can easily interpret all the data that we get. So a few things that you need in order to get started with this, to follow along if you're going to try to do that. And just bear in mind that I've never dealt with this product at all, so I don't even know if it's going to work. We're going to find out by the end of the video. But I'm using Visual Studio Code, which is a free tool to write your code with, and everybody should download that and probably be using that if you're not using some sort of text editor. And then we also need Python. So again, Python 3 version 3.6 or later. You can see we're on Python 3.8. When you install it on your machine, you should be able to just type Python, and it's going to pull up the interactive interpreter. So I actually have 3.8 installed on here. All right. Next thing we need to do is we probably need to find a folder location that we're going to put our project into. And what I want to do is actually download the entire project, so that way if there are bugs and things like that, I can eventually start to edit that and help out with it. We could fork the project on GitHub and all that stuff, but I'm not going to do that for right now. All right, so what I'm going to do is pull open Visual Studio Code. I'm going to open a folder, and I'm going to call this like Job Scraper, I think is what I call it. Yeah, Job Scraper. So we'll go ahead and select that folder to open up Visual Studio Code to that location. When you right click inside the Explorer on the left hand side, we're going to open in the terminal. All right, and now we're going to use Git to go ahead and clone the project. So that's another dependency I didn't actually mention. You guys should also be using Git as well, so make sure you download and install Git. That way you can also contribute to projects and stuff online. So we're going to go ahead and from that terminal window. All right, so now let's go ahead and just try to follow this dude's documentation to say because according to him, I should just be able to say pip install and then paste in. Really, that's the entire command here. But all right. So according to him, I should just be able to run pip install here. All right, cool. So that did work. So now we should just be able to type funnel and then hyphen help. And if everything's installed correctly, then we should get some options back that are going to tell us what we can do with this program. And here you go. All right, so now that we have it installed, what we need to do is go ahead and create a settings.yaml file. And that's what funnel is actually going to read in order to find the jobs and search for the right criteria, because clearly you don't want to search Indeed for like jobs in England when you're in Virginia of the United States. So we're going to go ahead and specify all that stuff. So let's go ahead and right click, create a new file, settings.yaml. All right, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to just simply copy a settings file that is on this dude's website so that I don't have to put all this stuff in individually, but let's go ahead and take a look here. So here are keywords. We have Python, Java. I'm not a Java guy, so I'm going to change this to like React. And really, I can go ahead and add C# on that too. So you can see the province here. We're going to do VA. And really, you know what? We're going to go with DC. Actually, you know what? I want to work in the dullest corridor. So let's just, I'm going to use something, we'll say Sterling, which is Loudoun County. I think it's Loudoun County. It might be Fairfax, actually. Whatever. It's Loudoun County is like a big corridor for like data. In fact, like 70% of all data comes through Loudoun County, Virginia. So here's this domain. So that would be US, I believe. And we'll change this to... This should obviously be Sterling here, and then this is VA, so we'll do VA. And I might want to just try Washington, D.C. if this doesn't work, but whatever. Well, this looks good for right now. And blacklist. Yeah, we'll leave that in there for right now. I don't really care about that. Save duplicates false. We don't want that. And set delay true. I don't know if I want to delay on that, so I'm going to change that to false for right now. And this is the delay config. So if you do set the delay, then obviously you can do this stuff if you want. But for right now, I'm just going to turn that off. And Control S to save this. And you can see that the output path from wherever you run this is going to be in your root directory. So our results should be showing up in this folder. So let's go ahead and open this up in a terminal. And if you want this to work, you then need to go ahead and tell it to then use this settings file. So we're going to go ahead and run the funnel and say the settings file that it needs to use, which is the settings.yaml, right? And here you go. And looks like we got some errors here. Max retries with URLs jobs caused by URL lib3 blah blah blah, failed to establish a new connection. Okay, I see what's going on here. So this is it's saying it couldn't connect to the website because we have www.indeed.us. I thought that was just simply some sort of internal query string or something that was going to be passed to Indeed, but clearly that is the .com. So where we said, let's see, yeah, here this needs to be com. And I guess that makes sense, domain, whatever. This is the first time I'm using it, like I said. All right, so let's go ahead and run that again. Press your up arrow. All right, and now it finished, and you have your data. It creates a log file. That's interesting, but you can see all the different query strings it did. This is a pickle file, which is basically a compressed file using Python when you pickle something and unpickle it. And then this is the CSV file. So this is something you would actually want to open up, something that can actually read CSV files, like Excel, Microsoft Excel, or even Google spreadsheets. All right, so if you go to Google Sheets, it's actually free to use, but it reads these comma delimited files. And if I open up the spreadsheet, you can see they did get one right, which is like Herndon, VA. But for whatever reason, here's one. There was Washington, D.C. here too. sort of buggy. Obviously, these things are difficult to do. I've actually tried to. Here's Vienna, VA, which is nice. But I'm getting stuff in like California, San Francisco. Unless those are remote jobs, this thing's kind of buggy. All right, so what I try to do is I changed the province to DC and then just said Washington. And then I also just gave it one keyword. So this thing is getting a lot more job listings based on this new criteria. All right, so drilling that down is actually, it looks like it provided us much better results here. You can see that it found 436 duplicates that we didn't have to go through and traverse ourselves. It found 1,026 jobs. And hopefully the location works a little bit better, but let's check it out. All right, so these results are much better. I should have wiped out the master CSV file because what this does is it actually looks for its existence. And that first run that we did, those results are they're going to stay in there. And then you can see that the second result is all this stuff down here. So all of it is based off of Washington, D.C. or the surrounding area. McLean is very close to me. Alexandria, there's Capital One, there's Facebook in Washington, D.C. So actually, no, this is pretty good. I like this. So what would be the next step, in my opinion, is to build automated scripts on top of this that would then read the CSV file and probably analyze the data a little bit better, and then maybe even put it into some like sort of web page, because the formatting here is obviously a little bit difficult to read. But this is actually pretty impressive because it does save you a lot of time, and all this stuff is actually working geographically. So I think my advice is that, you know, focus in on a major city and then don't try to combine the keywords that don't make any sense. So I didn't realize that it was saying Python, React, C#. It's better to just say Python or React. Run those different reports on individual languages. Now you could say JavaScript and React, you'd probably get some better results, but I think too many keywords there obviously caused it to choke up a little bit. So this is pretty impressive. Make sure you guys check it out. It's Job Funnel. I'll make sure that there's a link in the description tab so you guys can find the project and clone it yourself and run these reports. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.